Hi, I'm Tony. I'm from Elite One-to-One Computer Solutions. One of my customers has been asking me about computer basics, about cut, copy, paste and drag and drop. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain it in a basic short video here. I'm running this video from a virtual machine, but for most purposes, when you're watching this video, it'll look like a real Windows 7 machine that you would see if you was using it yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to create a document. I'm going to save it in the My Documents folder. I'm then going to create another folder in the My Documents folder, and I'm going to do a bit of folder manipulation. I'm going to copy the document that I've saved from one part of the My Documents into the newly created folder in the My Documents folder. Sounds a bit complex, but it's all really simple. I'll talk you through it as we go along. Basically what we'll do, we'll create a document first. We'll use Notepad to create a document. Click Start. If we type Notepad into the Start search bar, it shows up as Notepad here. We'll click that. Notepad opens up. We'll create a document in here. We can type anything in this document. For example, we can type test, press enter a few times, press test again. Could even have test 5 if we really wanted to. We could basically type anything that we wanted to. Okay, that will be our document. We'll go ahead and save this document now. Okay, to save the document, if we move the mouse up here into where it says File, we'll click File and we'll click Save As. You've got Save As here. You'll then get a Save As dialog box open. What it's now saying, it's going to save it to the Documents folder, and it's basically it wants to know a file name. You can name it anything you want to, any alphanumeric character that you can use in there. So we'll call it test 1. It's going to save it as a .txt file. It's like we say, it's going to save it in the Documents folder. We could change it if we wanted to, but by default it saves it in the Documents, and we're going to call it test 1. Then all you do, it's simple. You just click Save. Okay, so we'll close that now, and just to check it's there, what we'll then do, remember it was saved its documents, so we've clicked Start again. We'll go into Documents, and lo and behold, there's our document. It's called Test 1. We'll double click that to open it up, and that's exactly the text that we've just typed in our newly created document, document called Test 1, with some text that we've just typed in. Okay, so what we've done so far, we've opened Notepad, we've typed some text into a Notepad document, and we've saved it, and we've saved that file to a file called Test 1, and it's saved it into the Documents folder. So now that we've created a document, what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of folder manipulation, where we'll create another folder in the Documents folder, and we'll move this document about and copy it and paste it, and just so that we can show you what's going on. Okay, so to look in the My Documents folder, you could have either gone into Documents there, or more easily, we've got a thing here called File Browser, or File Explorer as Windows calls it. In there, it'll open up in the libraries. We have got Windows 7 does, and Windows anything Vista upwards creates its own libraries, and in one of the libraries there's a thing called Documents, and there's a file that we created. Now Windows 7 or Windows 7 upwards will let you do what they call Windows Snap, which means we can move it all the way to the left and it'll fill up half the screen. Then we can open another one the way we open up another file explorer is if you right click, use the right mouse button on the file explorer there, and then left click on the Windows Explorer, you'll then get another box. We'll move this second box to the right as far as it'll go, and then we've now got two dialog boxes, one within the documents, and the second one by default it opens up in the library, so we'll open that up in documents as well. So at that point we're looking at exactly the same thing, but what we'll do in this right dialog box window, we'll create another folder in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in the empty space here in the right hand pane of the right hand dialog box, we'll right click it. When we right click, bear in mind every time you right click something you will get a menu box, and what we're trying to do here, we're going to create a new folder. So if you come down to new and then you go along and go to folder and left click, it then creates a new folder. Notice, because we're looking at the same thing on both boxes at this point in time, that new folder there has also been duplicated there. We're looking at exactly the same place for the time being anyway. It's then asking you what you want to call this new folder. So all we'll do, because it's already highlighted, I don't need to highlight it because it's already highlighted, we'll call it folder 1, just as an example. Folder 1. Okay, you press enter. Then what we're going to do, in this right dialog box, we're going to open up folder 1. So simple as that, we'll just double click it. Now notice that on the left hand dialog box we're still in documents, and it's showing in the documents folder, it's showing the document that we created called test1, and it's also showing folder 1, the folder that we've just created. In the right hand pane, in the right hand dialog box, we're actually looking inside this folder 1 because we double clicked it and opened it. So what we're going to do now, as an example, we're going to literally just copy this test1 document into what would be inside folder 1. Bear in mind that folder 1 is actually opened up on this right hand dialog box. So what we're going to do, a little bit of drag and drop, all we're going to do is hold the right mouse button down on the test1 document, drag it along into the right hand side dialog box, loose the right mouse button, it then gives us a menu. And it's asking us, do you want to copy it here, do you want to move it here, or create a shortcut here. Now the thing to remember here is, obviously it's self-explanatory. If you copy it, what it's going to do, it's going to copy that test1 into the inside of folder 1. If you move it, if I was to click move, it would move it, so in that case it would delete it from the documents folder and move it to the inside of folder 1. If I was to create a shortcut, it's sort of in between the two, and what it would do is it would leave the test1 document there, and it would also put a link inside of folder 1. Bear in mind that this is going to be the inside of that folder 1. This is inside. It would put a link. So basically, if you wanted to delete the link, you could delete the link, but where it's originated from would still be there. That's basically explaining the difference between copy, move, and create shortcut. Okay, so in this instance, like I said, we was just going to copy a document. Okay, so we'll left click copy. So notice now you've still got, in the documents folder, you've got that document test1, and now inside that folder 1 that's over here, we've also got test1. It's exactly the same document. but it's replicated. That's the thing to remember, because we click copy, it's actually copied, replicated. So just to prove my point, we can scroll along. It's showing it's a text document and it's of one kilobyte space in size. And the same here, it's test 1, it's created on the same date, it's a text document and it's 1 kilobyte in size. Okay, we can open it up and it's as is, it's the text that we typed earlier, and it's the same text, and it's a file called test1 inside the folder 1 folder that we created. I'll just prove that we are looking inside. If I double click folder 1, there it is, we've got it duplicated, test1 is already there. Okay, now just to prove that we are looking inside folder 1, we can right click that and then click delete, and it's asking us, do you really want to delete it? Bear in mind it was only a copy of the document, so we can click yes, and then it's deleted. Okay, so if on the left hand pane we go back to documents, we've still got an empty folder 1 folder now, and we've got that test1 document that we created. Bear in mind that at this time we're still looking inside of folder 1. On this right hand box we're still looking what would be inside that folder 1. This time we're going to move it. Instead of copying it, we're going to move it. So if you right click, hold the right mouse button down again, and then drag the mouse along, loose the right mouse button, and this time left click, move here. Notice now it's moved the file, so therefore it's deleted the file from the documents folder, and it's now actually inside this folder 1. I'll prove the point. I'll double click folder 1 and there's your document. Okay, we'll come back up and we'll come out of there, and now we're looking in the documents folder again. So we've actually moved that document test 1, and it's now actually moved it inside folder 1. Okay, so then what we're going to do, I'm going to move it back. So I'll right click it, I'll loose the right mouse button, click move, left click move here, and it's now moved back. Okay, so just to prove my point, now what I'm going to do is I'm now going to create a shortcut. So if I right click it, move it along, loose the right mouse button and click left click on the create shortcut here, notice now there's a little arrow in the icon, because it's just a shortcut, it's not the real document. Like I say, I'll prove it. I'll open up folder 1 again, and there it is, and then we'll come back out again just to prove it's there. But this time it's not the real document. The real document is in the documents folder called test1. Here it's just a shortcut. Notice it does say shortcut. It's only a link. Type shortcut. The original document was a text document. Now it's just a shortcut. All it is a link to that document. You could completely delete that and it wouldn't delete the document in any way, shape or form. That is just a link, and it's linking it to this test1 document here. So I can delete that again, and that's proved that you can copy it and you can move it and you can create a shortcut. I'm just describing what the differences are. You can also left click and drag and drop. You can left click, and you can, I'm dragging it now with the left mouse button as opposed to the right mouse button that I've done previously. I'll left click it, and all that will do, that will just move it. It won't copy it. That will just move it from one place to the other. If you wanted to copy it or create a shortcut, you have to use the right mouse button. I'll move it back, and now it's moved back again. That was just dragging with the left mouse button. As well as now, I'll do a quick explanation of cut, copy and paste. So what you can also do, you can right click on that test document and you can click copy, and this time you don't have to move the mouse button down. What it's done, it's put it in a temporary memory space. Then if you move without dragging anything, without moving any holding the mouse buttons down at all, you just move the mouse along and then you right click in this box and you click paste. That's just copied it, because all we done was in this box here we right clicked on that document, and if you remember, all I done at that time was click copy, and then all I done in this done was I right clicked and click paste. Okay, so it's just showing you another way of copying and pasting. It's just another way of dragging and dropping, but in this case I click copy and click paste. It's as simple as that. Okay, I'll delete that again, and I'll right click on that document, and this time I'll click cut. Notice I click copy last time. This time I'll click cut, and I'll move the mouse along without holding the mouse buttons in. I'll now press the right mouse button, I'll get the menu again, and this time I'll click left click paste, and notice this time it's moved it. So the thing here to remember is cut is the same as move, and obviously copy is the same as copy. You just copy it over, and cut is the same as moving, and paste it just paste it to wherever the space that you're in with the mouse. Okay, I think that finishes this video. I've showed you how to create a document. I've used Notepad to create a document called test 1. We typed some text in, we saved it as test 1 in the documents folder. We then used File Explorer to have a File Explorer window. We dragged it to the left using Windows Snap. We then created another File Explorer window. We dragged that to the right using Windows Snap again, and then we've gone through cut, copy and paste, and then at the end of the video I showed you how to copy and paste without dragging and dropping. Okay, that concludes this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll post some more videos in the near future.